You think you can tell when someone is lying. You watch for shifty eyes, fidgeting, nervousness. These are the tells everyone looks for, and that is exactly why everyone gets it wrong. Studies show untrained observers detect lies at 54% accuracy. That is barely better than flipping a coin. The signals you have been taught to watch for are not just unreliable, they are completely wrong. What actually reveals deception is something most people never see. Welcome to Read Anyone, where psychology, deception, and human behavior collide, and people are never quite what they seem. Here is what the research actually shows. A meta-analysis covering over 24,000 subjects found that the behaviors most people associate with lying, avoiding eye contact, fidgeting, acting nervous, have almost zero correlation with actual deception. In fact, liars often make more eye contact because they are trying harder to appear trustworthy. And they fidget less, not more, because lying demands so much mental effort that their body goes still. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you 6 signals that professionals actually use to detect deception. Signals backed by decades of research. Signals that most people miss entirely. But first, you need to understand the principle that makes all of this work. Baseline. Every person has a normal way of speaking, moving, and responding when they are relaxed. The signals you are looking for are not behaviors in isolation. They are deviations from that baseline under stress. Someone who naturally pauses before answering? A pause tells you nothing. Someone who normally responds instantly, suddenly hesitating? That is information. Baseline first, judgment second. Sign 1. They distance themselves from their own words. When people lie, they unconsciously create space between themselves and their fabricated statements. Research from the University of Texas analyzed hundreds of communications and found that liars use significantly fewer first-person pronouns. They avoid saying I, me, and my. A truthful person says, I did not take that money. A liar says that money was not taken. Notice the missing self-reference. They are psychologically standing back from words they do not own. This linguistic distancing pattern correctly identified liars 67% of the time, while human judges, listening to the same statements, only achieved 52%. The words themselves reveal what the face tries to hide. Sign 2. Their body goes unnaturally still. Most people scan for nervous movement. Professionals watch for the opposite, the freeze response. When the brain detects threat, the first automatic reaction is not agitation, it is immobility. The FBI specifically trains agents to watch for restricted body movement, subjects suddenly locking their ankles around chair legs, becoming frozen in their seats, compressing their lips. Lying is so mentally demanding that the brain cannot spare resources for natural movement. After the freeze, watch for pacifying behaviors, touching the neck, adjusting clothing, running hands along thighs. These self-soothing gestures often follow freeze responses, as the body tries to regulate after stress. Sign 3. Their face shows contradictions that flash and vanish. Paul Ekman discovered micro-expressions while analyzing footage frame by frame. He found expressions of intense emotion lasting only 1/25th of a second before being masked. These involuntary leakages reveal what someone is actually feeling versus what they want you to see. The most reliable marker is the fake smile. A genuine smile engages 2 muscle groups, the mouth and the muscles around the eyes that create crow's feet. A fake smile only moves the mouth, the eyes stay flat. Beyond micro-expressions, watch for timing. Genuine expressions appear gradually and fade naturally over half a second to 4 seconds. Fake expressions snap on abruptly, hold too long, and cut off suddenly. Sign 4. Their voice rises when stakes rise. One of the most replicated findings in deception research involves vocal pitch. Lying is reliably associated with elevated pitch due to stress-induced tension in the throat. Studies consistently show that average voice pitch increases during deception. But here's the key. You need a baseline first. Note their normal pitch during casual conversation, then listen for changes when critical topics arise. A sudden pitch elevation during a specific question tells you that question hit a nerve. Sign 5. Their timing deviates from their established rhythm. Professional interrogators spend the first 20 to 30 minutes simply observing how subjects behave when calm. They note natural speech patterns, response speed, and pause frequency before asking anything substantive. Research shows that both too slow and too fast responses indicate problems. A delay suggests the person is fabricating. A perfectly fluid answer to an unexpected question suggests rehearsal. You are looking for deviation from their personal rhythm, not some universal timing rule. Sign 6. They show clusters of discomfort, not single tells. This is what separates amateurs from professionals. There is no single behavior that reliably indicates deception. None. What works is cluster analysis. One signal means nothing. A face touch could be an itch, but a face touch combined with linguistic distancing, combined with a freeze response combined with pitch elevation, that is a cluster worth investigating. Studies show that single cue detection achieves about 54% accuracy. Multiple cue cluster analysis reaches 68 to 70%. The signal stack, that is where the truth hides. Now here's how to actually use this. Step 1, establish baseline during low-stakes conversation. Step 2, introduce the topic that matters and note what changes. Step 3, look for clusters of deviation, not isolated behaviors. Step 4, recognize that stress is not deception. An innocent person afraid of being disbelieved looks identical to a guilty person afraid of being caught. Clusters tell you where to dig. They do not tell you someone is lying. They tell you something is there. Most people go through life reading their assumptions, not people. They see what they expect. They miss what is actually there. Now you know where to look. If this sharpened how you see people, subscribe. Human behavior follows patterns. I will show you where to look.